Has someone finally found Stephen Curry's limit? Every time people say he's done and that the Warriors have no future, Curry goes out there and shuts everyone up on the court. Once again, the greatest shooter in history made the haters wish they hadn't said a thing. Want to see how he gave his critics another lesson? Stick with me because what he did will leave everyone's jaw on the floor. Let's go. Every time they say Stephen Curry is washed up or that the Warriors have no chance, he responds on the court, and not just in any way. No, the greatest shooter of all time, the man who changed the game forever, leaves no doubt. He proves that anyone who doubts him only ends up looking foolish. And once again, this is the current state of the NBA. Curry, with his signature style, silenced the haters and showed once again that he's still the king of the league. So, let's recap the latest criticisms aimed at the number 30 jersey and how he dropped that final response. On the court. In recent months, many experts, journalists, and even some fans started saying the Warriors era was over, that the glory days of the dynasty were in decline. And, of course, in that narrative, Stephen Curry's name popped up in plenty of critiques. Some said Curry's time as one of the best in the NBA was coming to an end. Others questioned his ability to carry the franchise to another championship. But, as always, when the pressure is on and the doubts start to rise, Curry steps up like no one else. In the most recent games, Curry showed that he's nowhere near done with the NBA. With his mix of skill, core IQ, and insane ability to shoot from anywhere, he proved he's still one of the most impactful players in the league. It's not new that Stephen faces questions about his longevity at the top, and of course, when those critiques start popping up, he steps onto the court and delivers performances that leave everyone speechless. Recently, we saw Curry shine in a stretch of crucial games against strong opponents. It's no surprise that his three-point shot is lethal. But what really stands out is how he creates opportunities for his teammates. Curry's game reading is mind-blowing, and with the experience he's built over the years, he's still the backbone of the Golden State Warriors, even with some injuries and a team going through transitions. But what stands out to me is the kind of criticism he's been receiving. Many said Curry wouldn't be able to carry the team on his own anymore, that the injuries had made him more vulnerable, and that the Warriors' style of play was no longer enough to compete with the best in the league. And then, as always, Curry takes all that and proves them wrong. In one of the most recent games against a top-seeded team, he just exploded over 40 points with a series of long-range shots, assists, and even some surprising defense. Not only did he do his part, but he showed he was the main figure on the court. This brings us to a crucial point. NBA haters, the critics on standby, need to understand that Stephen Curry doesn't have to prove anything anymore. He's already delivered a career full of MVPs, championships, and historic numbers. But the beauty of Curry's game lies in the fact that he's not satisfied with just being great. He wants to be the best, and every time someone doubts him, he comes back with even more fire to shut them up. Speaking of historic numbers, let's take a look at Curry's recent achievements. With every game, he keeps breaking records. It's not just the number of points, but the way he scores them. His ability to hit threes from anywhere on the court is one of the most impressive things we've ever seen in basketball. And even with the rising competition with stars like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic, and even Kevin Durant standing out, Curry remains at the top. The stats show he's still a huge threat, and his impact on the game is undeniable. The fact is, while many bet on Curry's decline, he's doing everything to prove there's no room for those bets. And that brings up a big question. How long can he keep this up? The answer, folks, is simple until he decides. Stephen Curry doesn't seem like the type of player who's just going to retire or decline without fighting till the end. He's got that championship mindset and a passion for the game. And as long as he's on the court, he'll always be a threat. Now, I know there are plenty of people out there still trying to set a finish line for Curry's career, saying he's already past his prime or that the Warriors have no shot at another title. But the big question is, when you watch Curry play, it's not about passing his prime. It's about understanding that his prime is eternal. He might not jump as high as some younger players, might not be as physically explosive as others, but he has something that very few athletes have: complete control over the game. Every move, every shot is calculated, and he knows exactly how to impact the game. Of course, it's impossible to deny that the Warriors have faced some struggles lately. transitioning some key pieces, player injuries, and adapting to the new style of play in the league have been challenges. But still, Curry hasn't let that shake him. He's still the leader the team needs. And it's in those kinds of high-pressure situations where he truly shines. The Warriors know that as long as Curry's on the court, the possibilities are endless. The team might struggle in certain areas, but there's no doubt that when the clock's winding down, number 30 is the guy you want with the ball in his hands. Now, I want to know from you, Warriors and NBA fans, who here thinks Stephen Curry is still the king of the NBA? Does he have more titles ahead of him, or is it time for other players to take his spot at the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it, because the league is heating up, and Curry is ready to silence his doubters once again. And don't forget, if you like this analysis and want to stay up to date with everything Curry and the Warriors, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any updates. Let's keep following the career of the greatest shooter in history and see how far he can take this team.